So startup elevator pitches. Here we go. So this was a cool thread on Indie Hackers. A bunch of people posting their elevator pitches for startups that they're working on. And then I'm just going through and giving feedback on them. So I'm going to try to avoid the ones I did yesterday and do the rest of these. Okay. TripTodo. List the hottest things to do in cities around the world, ordered by popularity and user rating. That sounds really interesting. That's definitely something that I hear people. I mean, just yesterday, I have a buddy that was going to be in Nashville and he was looking for recommendations of things to do. So that sounds interesting. I feel like I'd be surprised if that wasn't out there already, something like that. But it's funny. Sometimes the best ideas are like, I thought that already existed. How did that not already exist? So that sounds good. Okay, Namecame. Available domains delivered. Namecame.com. I don't know what that means exactly. I think that needs to be clearer. Next one, Joao Ferro. How much is your free time worth? That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. My first question is, how's that going to work? Are you going to measure my free time? Are you like, what are you measuring? What are you doing? But the fact that it piques curiosity is good. So it's a good opener. John Hogg, slippers for cats, which I think was a joke, but I actually think that could work. My buddies that are into cats are like super into cats, like that have pets, and I could see them legitimately buying slippers for them. So I think that was probably a joke, but I think that could actually work. Malachi, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and WeFunder on a single platform. I don't know what that means exactly. I mean, I know Kickstarter and GoFundMe. I don't really know much about WeFunder, and I don't know what it would mean to have them all on the same platform. I'm generally more of a fan of specific services, right? So like the fact that Kickstarter and GoFundMe are slightly different and are separate, I think is a good thing. So I'm not seeing the value there personally. Mr. Yash, Squatty, a data management and marketing system for the institutes, school, preschool, and others. So it sounds kind of generic, like data management is very generic. Marketing system is very generic. The fact that you're picking schools, preschools, and stuff like that does narrow it a little bit, but I think you got to narrow that down a little bit more. Okay, Sumit Kumar, I'm building the most convenient and powerful tools for geospatial data management to save you time and money. I don't know what that means. Maybe that's because I'm not in the geospatial data space, but I don't know what that means, geospatial data management. So I think if I should know what that means, then that's a problem. If it's for just a different market than me, then it could be good. Michael Aubrey, story creator app, make stunning social media videos in under 5 minutes. Yes, 100% yes. That's something that I've been looking for, obviously, as I've been starting to do these videos, and I've played with some different apps, and there's different pros and cons. Captions are the hardest part. If there's a way I could do a 1-minute clip captioned in under 5 minutes, and the captions have to be good, right? Because captions can get auto-generated, but there's always errors, so you got to manually go through and tweak them. That would be magic. Okay, Brandon building acornbookmarks.com. Which is best? The bookmark manager for productive professionals. Number 1. Number 2, a next generation bookmark manager for the 2020s and beyond. Number 3, the only bookmark manager designed for the complexity of today's. Maybe I'm a little distracted, but there's a lot going on here. I'm not sure what all this means. Emery Basala, custom die lines generator. I kind of know what die lines are. They're for doing like shirts and stuff like that, I think. So probably if you're in the space, whatever that is specifically, that would make a lot of sense. But to me, I'm like, oh, what does that mean? Anya, visually understand your users with our pinpointed session replays. I've definitely seen a lot of these. Mouse flow, I think, was one I used to use back in the day. So the question is, how is this different from the other options out there? Privasim. The fact that I'm stumbling over the pronunciation is an interesting indicator, because as somebody who creates a product, you're so familiar with the name day in and day out, you're using it and stuff like that. So getting somebody who's literally looking at it for the very first time and trying to pronounce it is a good indicator of sort of how easily pronounceable it is. Your privacy news apps and services in one place. I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, privacy is an important and growing trend. And privacy news is something that sounds interesting. I don't know exactly what news apps and services feels very generic. Shiva Prabhakaran, simple newsletter to discover high-paying remote jobs in design, marketing, and development. That sounds interesting. There's more of these niche job marketplaces and websites and stuff like that. So that sounds cool. Spintrace, last one. Easy mileage tracking and fleet management for small businesses. That sounds interesting. So I'm not, if I was a small business owner with a fleet of cars that I was managing, I have a feeling that this would instantly be like, yes. So I don't know what existing options are out there. It feels probably like a space where the existing tools are not easy to use. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the tools were not great. So if that's the case, then that could definitely be a winner.